Children, they happen in marriages, and when they do, you've got a lot of issues you have to deal with. One of the things you want to do is, as much as possible, keep the children out of your divorce. One of the best things you can do for your children is continue to parent together. People seem to get upset and say, well, the children are trying to play the parents off in a divorce situation. Children always try to play their parents off against each other, okay? If you have a child with a normal intelligence, the child is going to do that even in the most normal, healthy, intact home. If they've got a household with both parents hate each other, then it just makes it that much easier for them, which means y'all are going to have to be that much better at keeping it from happening. One of the most important things to do is for both parents to tell the children together that we love you. This is not your fault. You're still going to see both parents. Both parents are still going to love you. But we're not going to be able to live together again. Do not use children as messengers. It is a bad thing to do. One, if you're using an 8-year-old to carry messages from you to your spouse, one, you should expect an 8-year-old to do an 8-year-old level job of that, which means they're going to mess it up. The other thing is it puts the child in a horrible position, even if they get it right. Daddy, Mama says you're a twit and you can't come over tonight. What a horrible thing for a kid to have to say. Don't talk bad about the other parent. If you talk bad about another parent to the child will internalize that as you're talking bad about part of them. Because each child, quite rightly, sees themselves as part of both parents. Okay? So there's a lot of other advice we have about dealing with children, and you can find that on our website at aboutdivorce.com. Now, there's also some legal issues we need to talk about. You've probably heard your friends talk about custody and visitation. And that's because your friends aren't lawyers. In Tennessee, for the last many years, we've had parenting instead of custody and visitation. We have parenting plans. Parenting plans are a 14 to 17 page document in which you deal with an incredible number of issues that are going to come up in a child's life. They are a pain to work through. And if you want to find one, you can go to our website and you'll be able to find that. That's aboutdivorce.com. Pull it up, start working through it with your spouse. Most divorces, the spouses are able to work that out. If they can't work all of it out, they can work most of it out. Now, that says where little Junior and little Sissy are going to be from time to time. You then turn to the child support worksheet to figure out how much child support is going to be paid to who. Now, the child support worksheet comes from the Department of Human Services. It is based on a 70-some-odd page set of regulations. Nobody completely understands. The people who wrote it don't completely understand. The worst set of child support guidelines came from North Carolina. Those people, unfortunately, got a job in the Department of Human Services in Tennessee and brought that one with them. So now we have a copy of the worst set of child support guidelines in the United States, which really makes us feel even dumber, okay? But nevertheless, we have them, and it has a worksheet. It is theoretically possible to work the worksheet with a pen and a calculator. I don't know anybody who's been able to actually do that. And what's even worse is we know there are things in the worksheet that are wrong. And every 6 months or so, they revise the worksheet to do something else wrong, okay? Generally, every time they correct one problem, something new pops up. But everybody's using the same worksheet. It's computer generated. You can either go to our website, aboutdivorce.com, and download the link to it, or you can go to the Department of Human Services website and try to find it. But everybody uses the same worksheet, which means although it's flawed, everybody's going to have the same flaw. The big factors are relative income between the parties and the amount of time you spend with each parent. Okay, the amount of time the child spends with each parent and what their relative incomes are. And most of the country uses a relatively simple and straightforward child support guidelines. Ours then goes on to include a whole bunch of other facts. Children that are living in the house, children that are not living in the house, children that belong to somebody else that are living in the house that you're getting child support for, that you're not getting child support for. How much is the insurance, medical insurance for the child? Are they in private school or are they not in private school? Do they need to be in private school? Do they not really need to be in private school? It goes on and on and on. But you have to do it. The law requires the judge to find what the child support guideline amount is. And if the judge orders something other than the child support guideline amount, the judge has to explain why. So that's what you have to do in Tennessee. But again, I want to come back to one of the things I've really, really seen over 30-something years of divorce practice. As my dad used to say at this point in his career, I've been doing this for a third of a century. And what I've seen is that people are really drawn, pulled, tempted to say bad things about their spouse to their children. It's a really bad thing to do. It hurts the children, and it hurts your relationship with the children. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that. You don't need a degree in psychology. All you need is that common sense and that place in your heart. And if you don't have any of those good things, let me tell you, the meanest thing you can do to your mean spouse is not talk bad about them to your children. Because in most cases that I've watched, and I've really watched it, the children can figure out, well, gosh, mommy is mean, but daddy's too nice to say bad things about mommy. God, isn't daddy nice? I want to be close and like daddy, okay? So even if you're just really, 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 really mean, the meanest thing you can do to your mean spouse is don't talk bad about them to your kids. If you need other information about children, about the divorce process in general, go to our website aboutdivorce.com. Thank you.